Hello everyone, once again in my YouTube channel for Economics Class 10. I am here once again with the chapter called Money and Credit. Already 3 videos I have made on the chapter, in which we have seen that what are the main features of money and how it has eliminated the drawbacks of barter system, what are the modern forms of money, and now we have come to the topic various sources of credit. What is the role of credit in modern days world or in people's life, and how people their increasing needs are met with the help of credit. So we have seen that there are main two sources of credit. One is called formal sources of credit and other one is called informal sources of credit. Formal sources of credit include banks and cooperatives. We have already discussed about banks and how, on what terms of credit they provide credit for various various types of loans are taken by the people, or by a variety of credit arrangements made by these formal sources and of course informal sources. So formal sources include banks and cooperatives. Banks, which are controlled and supervised and monitored by the RBI or Reserve Bank of India, which is also known as Bankers Bank or Government's Bank, which keep an eye on all the functioning and activities of the commercial banks and other financial institutions which have registered themselves and which are monitored and supervised by the RBI. Now, second type of credit which is made available through cooperatives for the rural people. What are cooperatives? Cooperatives are those type of workplaces or organizations in which production happens and same types of goods or activities are done by the people working there, and all the people, those who are there in that workplace, they form a society, they form a cooperative where they pool their savings, and in this way the accumulated savings help them to get a loan at the time of their need. So besides bank, cooperatives also play a major role in meeting the increasing credit or finance loan or requirements of loan that people have in their life. So members of a cooperative, what they do, they collect, they save their money and their resources for cooperation in certain areas. And there are several types of cooperatives, such as farmers cooperative or agriculture cooperatives, we can say weavers cooperative, industrial workers cooperative. Then mill cooperatives are also very common and found everywhere. Krishak cooperative functions in a village, not very far away in from every smaller semi-urban areas or rural areas or in villages. So what we have seen that in Sonpur there is a Krishak cooperative, and where 2300 farmers are the members of this cooperative, and it accepts deposit. Yes, the deposits from the workers, from the farmers are accepted here in this Krishak cooperative, and with these deposits as collateral, means these deposit work or act as a collateral for the Krishak cooperative to get a bigger loan from the bank, and the cooperative has become successful in obtaining a large loan from the bank with the help of these collateral which have been accumulated, which have been made by the savings of the members, the farmers, those who were living in that locality or in that place. So once these loans are repaid that they have taken from the banks, after showing their pooled savings or deposits to the bank which acted as a collateral, and another round of loan again they can have, or another round of lending can take place take place in these areas, in these smaller towns or suburban or semi-rural areas. So Krisak Cooperative provides loans for the purchase of agricultural implements, loans for cultivation and agricultural trade, fishery loans, loans for construction of houses, and for a variety of other expenses which are met. Means the people, those who are farmers, those who are the members of this Krishak cooperative, they can get or they are getting loans for variety of purposes, such as to buy agricultural implements or equipments, loan for cultivation, to buy other inputs, or for agricultural trade also, and even for fishery loans to do some other activity or some other work, for the construction of their houses, repairing of their houses, and for variety of other expenses are also met by these types of cooperatives, which provide them loan at the time of their need. So as I have told you that there are two sources of credit, formal sources and informal sources. But what we see that in urban areas, most of the people or majority of the people, those who are educated, those who are in a regular work, they are obtaining or getting credit from banks, because they know the nuances, they know the formalities that they have to do, that they have to fulfill to get a loan, to become eligible to get loan from the banks. And getting a loan from bank is cheaper and helps them a lot. But in rural areas, what we see that people in those areas, they still depend on informal sources, which is not monitored, which is not supervised, which whose function is out of or beyond the control of the RBI, and they harass the people, they charge or take higher rate of interest, and in this way the loan does not help the borrower and it becomes costlier. So formal sector credit in India is still not popular among the villagers or among the rural people. So what are the reasons that we are going to discuss? So we have seen in examples that various sources are there, or for various credit arrangements they provide loans, and various types of loans can be conveniently grouped as, and we can group them as formal sector loan and informal sector loan. Among the formal sector loan, we have seen that banks and cooperatives are included, or they provide or they lend to the borrowers. And employers, and in informal sources, they are comprised of traders, money lenders, employers, relatives, friends, etc. And we can see that various sources of credit to rural household in India, that we see that still people, they depend on friends, relatives, traders, money lenders, and their dependence on formal sources, on banks and cooperatives, are still very low or less, because of their ignorance, because of their illiteracy, because of not having collateral, that have made them not to go to formal sources. And because the formal sources, their numbers are not too much in those areas, that have also made this formal sources unsuccessful, or the getting a loan from formal sources is not very very much present in those areas. So the Reserve Bank of India supervises, as we know that it supervises the functioning of formal sources of India. But in rural area, when we see that majority of the people, they still depend on informal sources, and these informal sources are not supervised or monitored by RBI. Means they are out of the control of the RBI. No one is there to see that on what interest rate they are charging from the borrower, and on what terms the loan is being given or disbursed. So for instance, we have seen that banks maintain minimum cash balance out of the deposit that they receive from the customer. The RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance, and that every bank has to maintain this cash balance. It is monitored or seen by the RBI. Similarly, RBI also sees that banks are giving loans to everyone, not to few people, or not to big business houses, or not to make just profit or profit making businesses, but also to small cultivators, to small scale industries and small borrowers also, so that the inequality from society can be reduced or removed. Periodically, banks have to submit information to the RBI also. Okay, boys? Thank you.